Hi everybody, it is Haley of Moth Cosplay, and this week we're doing something a little bit different. I just didn't really feel like doing a progress vlog, so instead I decided to do a Q&A, yay! I totally had forgotten to post on my Facebook page to send me questions, so I only have questions from Instagram. Alright, so I got a nice handful of responses. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to all of them, so I'm just going to kind of like read through, I guess, some of the first ones. From this person's name, who I do not know if that's even pronounceable. Where did your username come from? Oh god, Mothchild is technically like my third cosplay name. Also, my hands are not dirty. I've been dyeing things, so they just look gross, but I'm not a little gremlin. I started out with my best friend Ariane as Craft Cat cosplay because we are crafty and we like cats. We ended up splitting into two separate pages just because it made more sense, and she became Alatov. My page name was Lolovi, which was like this weird nickname that she gave me, and that was my name for like 1 or 2 months, but eventually I was like, this doesn't feel right, like it's a little bit too childish, so I decided to go and change it, and I was like, man, what do I want to change it to? I was going through like this weird goth kid phase, and it was also the beginning of my moth obsession, so I was like scrolling through Pinterest and I saw a shirt and it was like Moonchild, and I was like, ooh, Moonchild cosplay, I like that. But of course there was already a Moonchild cosplay. Like, okay, what can I do instead that will make me stand out? Moth, moon, Mothchild. And it stuck, and that's where it came from. Also, if you don't know, I really like moths. Okay, so moving on. My favorite cosplay material. It's a bit of a complex question. When you say that, do you mean like fabric versus foam versus plastics? So my favorite material to use when working on a cosplay, I prefer sewing, but diving more into that, specifically, I love linens. I don't know why. Every single linen that I've ever sewn with, the drape is nice, they dye wonderfully, they're breathable, like they're just really great. It's nice, it's handy, it's convenient, it's comfortable, and that's the most important thing, is it's comfort. You're awesome, and I love the work you do. Well, sir, that's not a question, and you need to learn how to follow directions. No, I'm just fucking with you. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I also love the work that I do. I spend a lot of time on it. Oh, the compliment was from It's Jonabona. Jonabona? I don't know, but it's fun. So from Eclectic Sun, what is your dream costume / build? Ooh, oh my god. Magda from Diablo 3. That's Magda. She has moths and she uses them to fly. I think that her design is beautiful and the colors are absolutely lovely. Her color scheme is like this wonderful gold, a rich purple, and a very wonderful emerald green. The thing that's really stopping me from this is I really want the wings and the moths to flap, but I really don't want to work with mechanical things in cosplay again. After making my Death Knight and everything that went wrong with the LEDs, and those were simple LEDs, it just really put me off from progressing with electronics. I'm just gonna put her off for as long as I can. Oh, her nipples are showing. Honey, put those away. You are amazing. It's not a question, I just wanted to say it. At least you recognize that you can't follow directions. Worst con experience, Kineticon 2016. Yeah, definitely Kineticon 2016. Oh, that's from Kix Cosplay, by the way. And the reason that Kineticon 2016 sucked ass was because I had just moved up to New York in late April, early May, so I didn't really have many friends. I didn't have a job, so I wasn't able to make any really cool costumes, so I was really disappointed in that. And it just, like, the whole thing sucked. I couldn't drink or anything, so like the second that the convention closed, which Kineticon closes at like 8:30 or some dumb shit like that, that was it. The con for the day was over. Like, I couldn't hang out and drink because I wasn't 21. I genuinely spent most of Kineticon sitting on the big steps, looking around at everybody else who was laughing and talking to friends and just crying because I felt so alone. From Kix Cosplay, what is my favorite and least favorite cosplay? Oh god. Oh god. So I think that my favorite cosplay is probably my Night Scarf still from Bloodborne, and my least favorite, I really feel bad saying this because I like the look of the costume, but wearing it, it's warm, it's heavy, it's uncomfortable. My Grey Warden set. It's a lot. I can't bend my arms all the way. Because the sleeves they don't stretch for anything, and it's tight right here, but making it any loose made my arms look extremely like disproportionate, especially with all the scales on them, and it's just the whole costume actually. It's warm. It's incredibly warm. types of games that I dislike. Dungeon crawlers, which is specifically why, another reason that I don't think I'll ever do Magda from Diablo 3, because I didn't really care for Diablo 3. But for the most part, I like to think that, like, I'll try anything out. We've been playing a Telltale game lately, Justin and I have been. We're like sitting at the couch and like making decisions together. It's the Walking Dead one. I never really was into Walking Dead or Telltale games, but this one's actually really enjoyable, and I actually really enjoy it. It's a game that I didn't expect myself to like. So that's to answer another question that I felt was like a bit of a follow-up, and that was from Herrick BSS. That boy, I don't know why I said boy, you're not a boy, you're a grown-ass man, has been there on like following me since 2015. It's been a while, like ever since I posted my first Bloodborne thing, he's been there. So like shout out to you, man, you're awesome. I appreciate you. And your Gundams, and the Bloodborne, all of it. From Dominic Everlot. Would you ever do a Liliana from Dragon Age cosplay in the future? Probably. Honestly, I really love Liliana. I love her as a character, and I also really appreciate her design. The thing that's kind of stopping me from Liliana is, I think I had actually talked to you about this before, it's the chainmail. Chainmail is heavy and it's expensive, and it takes a very, very long time to produce chainmail. And as dumb as it sounds, with my social media, I'd be spending like 2 months probably making all the chainmail for her. And that's just very boring to post for people to see. So it would have to be, you know, I'd either have to find somebody to make the chainmail for me and be prepared to spend a lot of money, or I'd have to find the time with my other projects and kind of like squirrel it away a little bit here and there until it's all complete and then produce the rest of her. But that's just kind of, it's a lot of work, and I'm just not really sure if I'm ready right now for that amount of work, especially after the time that I spent last year with my Grey Warden set hand sewing all of the scales, and the time that I'm about to spend this year hand sewing scales to my husband's Grey Warden set. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. What cosplay crafting skill do you want to improve the most or find most difficult? And that's from my girl Arlena Faye, who is very sweet, and she also has a YouTube where she posts a lot of videos of her producing stuff. So if you're interested, I would really recommend going and checking her stuff out. I really want to improve my sewing. I feel like I'm okay at sewing. And I know some people are probably like, what do you mean you're okay at sewing? You're better than I am. First of all, thanks. Second of all, in the grand scheme of things, my work is not up to where I want it to be. I look at the costumes that I make, and most of the time I find myself going, oh my gosh, I should have done this differently. I can't believe that I did this like this. I want to take it all apart and start over. I want to be able to, when I sew, look at something and not have to go to the internet or a book for help. For example, right now, Anna Henrietta's dress, there are a lot of pieces that I don't know. I don't know the word for. I don't know what material to use. I don't know what kind of stitch, and it's a little overwhelming. And I want to get to the point where that's not overwhelming. And that's going to take years, but that's okay, because I've got hopefully years left to do it all. That's it. That's really what I want to improve. How did you discover cosplay and what got you started? And that's from my best girl Alatov, aka Ariane. And girl, like you didn't get me started. So I mentioned this a little bit. I actually have an entire cosplay video about like what got me into cosplay. But I first heard of cosplay because I really, really liked World of Warcraft, and somebody showed me footage from the BlizzCon costume contest, and I fell in love with it, and I started like doing all sorts of research and stuff, and I ended up actually getting into cosplay because my best friend, who we met at prom and ditched our prom dates for, she had a prom date, I didn't, and we literally just hung out upstairs outside of the balcony, like ignoring everybody else and just like chatting about everything. She was like, oh, by the way, like, I don't know what this is, but I cosplay. And I was like, so I like attached myself to her and her mom, and they taught me everything that I know. So you should go to her page. It's Alatov. It's right there. And support her because she's such a cutie pie and I love her so much. And yes. When is my next weapon build? And that's from King Dappa-Nerd. I don't know. I feel bad because I haven't really done a whole lot of prop work this year, but after con crunching for KatsuCon and the nightmare mess that my craft room was from working on like 3 different props at once, I decided to take a little bit of a step back from prop making. I think like actually I haven't really made any props, like completed them since then. Right now though, I'm pretty sure the next weapon build that I'll do will either be a two-handed sword for Dragon Age or a Grey Warden shield. I can't remember if he wants to do a two-handed or a one-handed and a shield. If he decides to do two-hander, we have a sword that is really great for it, but it's not con safe. This is the sword. It is probably more of a hand and a half for him, but it's definitely a two-hander for me. It comes up to my shoulder when I'm standing, so it, you know, hits him probably at about like armpit. But this would be really, really cool for photo shoots, but like we wouldn't be able to take it to a convention or anything. If he decides to do a two-hander, I have to make him a sword, and if he decides to do one-hander and shield, I think that I have a con-safe one-hander somewhere, so we would just need to make a shield. Favorite type of sandwich or sub? Ooh boy. I am a woman of simple taste, so I really love cheap grocery store like thick cut ham with white American cheese on butter bread. When I used to go to Subway, I would get an Italian BMT on Italian bread with just a little bit of lettuce, and that's it. Because like I said, I'm a very simple person. I don't really care for dressings or sauces, so that's that. But I don't really go to Subway anymore. Where do I see myself in 5 years? I'm going to be working at a museum. I'm going to be curating objects, taking care of fabrics, canvases, any sort of textile pieces that need upkeep or care or to be fixed. That is what I really, really want to do. That's what I'm gonna go back to school for. I see myself still sewing. I may not be working on cosplay so much as historical costuming, or maybe things for theater productions in my spare time, because I love cosplay to death. I really, really do. But working a full-time job and trying to find time to like watch anime or play video games, and then also create a cosplay for the anime or video game or whatever, that just sounds like too much. I feel like already I don't have enough time to work on cosplay and play video games. So that's probably why I'll move over to more historical costuming. Who knows though? 5 years, I hope to see myself happy. That's what I really want in the end. It's whatever makes me happy. Oh God. Somebody just asked like a really personal question. I don't really know if I want to answer this on camera. From the Dokuro Voices VA. She asked like the worst question she could possibly ask me. Which is better, pancakes or waffles? Do I look like somebody who eats pancakes? Waffles, obviously, because even if you don't put syrup on your waffles, you have those nice little cubes that your butter melts into, and it's just fucking sweet, breakfasty goodness. If you like pancakes, you're wrong. I guess that really kind of wraps it all up. Those are the ones that I really have the time to get to right now. We've got like 25 minutes of recording going on right now. But thank you guys so much on Instagram for giving me questions. I really, really like interacting with you guys and talking to you guys like that. So we might every now and then do like a little updated Q&A, because I'm sure different people have different questions, and it doesn't have to be cosplay related. I hope that I got to answer your question. I really hope that I did. And if you have a question that didn't make it into this video, you're welcome to put it in the comments below, and I should be able to answer them. It's not like there's hundreds of comments. Usually it's just like one or two, so you know. I hope to see you guys next week, and if I don't see you next week, well then I hope to see you at a convention.